So, how about this? Good voice?
Good voice.
Good level?
Good voice.
All right. Very neat, everybody.
Very neat.
How are we?
Yay.
So today I'm doing a workshop, and thank you very much for letting me do this, for inviting me to do this, having me here. So as some of you may know, almost a long while ago now, I had some experiences with the local landscape and the spirits of the local landscape that led me to discover what could be termed, if you go with it, an earth spirit on the level of Gaia, if we also don't think of Gaia as global and leave her in the Aegean and in the Greek lands. But you know, there's mother goddesses everywhere. And if we take that regional approach, wherein the biosphere and the biomes that bound those territories are the body of that being, then Florida has a spirit. And the best way that I can tell you to find that is to simply Google the Floridan aquifer, and that is generally the boundary right there. She is of the waters, so I'm very happy to be near the waters for this event. The waters that go below and connect to the underworld, the waters that flow all around us and give us life, and the waters above, which purify the entire landscape and come down with blessings. But over the time, as I've gone through it, I've sort of been moving more towards just staying as rooted in place as possible and seeing with eyes clear as much as possible through that, rather than going beyond this world, beyond this middle realm we have here, and the majority of our lives, but not the entirety of our lives. Just staying here and see what is here for me to find out in this area. So I'm speaking of concepts that are essentially from Michael Herner's core shamanism. I don't know if you know about that. He was an anthropologist that did a whole lot of work on the indigenous cultures of the world, all over the world, and try to come up with some synthesis, some way to syncretize them all together and build perhaps universal, perhaps ancestral shamanic path or spiritual path that would have been followed tens of thousands of years ago when all of our cultures were in one place, essentially in and around the Caucasus Mountains of the Near East. So he developed several concepts that have been developed further by other people, including my favorite, Sandra Ingerman. Great drumming, great books, very well accessible and readable. Among those, concepts are of the three worlds, mainly three worlds: the upper worlds, the middle world, and the lower world. And you can probably already guess the associations and connotations that each of them have, because such thinking has fused and been put through most of modern paganism. Obviously, the upper world are for the light of the sun, the airy things, the elevated things, if not the ascended things, right? The middle world is where we live, but there is no shortage of ascendedness here too. We are bathed by the light of the sun after all. And then the lower world below is a place of rest and passage and germination for those who pass and then return to this world. So many people say it's the land of the dead. But the land of the dead isn't necessarily just the place where we go. It's also the place where we come back, changed from. Now, the middle world, sadly, gets short-shifted a lot. Because there is a lot of interesting stuff to learn from above and below. There is a lot. And of course, you could say that the true heart of the spiritual beings that we encounter are above and below, rather than here with us. Well, so maybe Lady Florida and beings like her. They are here with us. So I was wondering what else is here with us. What can we learn from things that are here with us? And how do we travel this path while being open to the other two weaving in and out? Oddly enough, it took me till rather recently, actually, to kind of put it together in a way that makes sense for me. I'm a science teacher by profession. I don't know if you know that, but I was studying food web interactions among living organisms in the ecosystem, mostly here in Florida, and the periphyte and the sawgrass, and how the peat and marsh and muck of Florida was created. This process of receiving sunlight, living, dying, and refertilizing the land through that process is what put it all together for me. In short, the best way that I can tell you that I found is that we are the middle world. We, the living, and all of the living on this planet, we are that bridge and that cauldron where all of these energies from above and below are being mixed together. And our lives are the fulfillment of all of those influences. Whatever it is that is going on through our life, of course, we have a part to play, obviously. We have been given such a prominent brain and mind. But we are essentially a great script of nature playing out. Another thought that I've had in the past is we sometimes, I'm going to make an assumption here, I'm sorry about that, as Westerners, or as living within the Western matrix of ideas and culture, we make the assumption that the world above and the world below is separate from us, and it isn't. It is right here, right now. All of our dead ones are here with us. We don't have to reach. They're right here, they're all inside of you, and they play out through every moment of your life. Every moment. You carry them with you, hundreds of thousands of ancient ones already in you. And every single adaptation, every single moment of their lives that got written into their genes, got passed on the moment you were inseminated or fertilized or whatever. And what is not is passed on through family and culture and traditions. Even if we don't have that, we're still getting the traditions and the legacy of others working through us, right? So that was my thought. Today we're going to sort of go on a couple, maybe two, maybe one extended journey. I don't know how it's going to work out. It depends more on how it's going to work out for you, because it's a bit of a tricky skill to play with, but we're going to go through it. We're going to get through the familiar concepts first, and then we're going to come back to the middle world. And here we're going to experience how it looks like and how we find ourselves and our wisdom here in this world. The goal being that if you practice this enough, if you go through these meditations, instead of your first instinct being to go above or go below, to just stay and see what comes to you here, maybe the ways will be open for you, and you will always walk with all the ways open to you, even in the waking world, right? Because after all, what is that but one more final illusion that we have to break down? Are we absolutely certain we're not asleep right now? Because, I pinch myself in sleep and I still kept sleeping. And sometimes I'm at work and I want to wake up, but I can't. So, just to start, how familiar, how experienced are we with what is usually called shamanic journey? Raise your hand if you have some familiarity with it. Okay.
I was baptized in an ayahuasca church, so I like to do a lot of ceremonies with shaman.
Very awesome. Very awesome. So, what we're going to start with is very simple. I'm going to lead you through the barrier first. I'm gonna put you where you will find your axis mundi, your center world. Maybe it's a tree, maybe it's a hole in the ground, maybe it's a great mountain. All three are possible. Other things are possible. For me, my great axis mundi is Lake Okeechobee. What an amazing, interesting experience that I had there. That kind of recalibrated the usual tree that I would see into the lake itself, having also an above and below symmetry, and water always being a portal of sorts. So we're gonna take a brief journey to get us to that place. But before we go there, let me tell you what I want to happen afterwards. I don't want you to leave that, even when you open your eyes. I want you to stay in that kind of feeling and in that kind of consciousness as much as you can when we come back for the next leg of the discussion. Okay? And then after that, we shall do all the trips through all the worlds. Okay? If you do get disconnected from the great white web of your spirit, don't worry about it. If you can take a minute to bring yourself back to it, do so. If you need to shut up for 2 seconds, you can do so. I will do so. If you need me to leave you back, I will do so. Okay? But I kind of want you to practice holding it. Kinda, and we're in Beltane, right? We're celebrating Beltane. Kind of like holding an orgasm. Alright? Big tantrum. If you want to go there, experience going there.
But we're not supposed to raise our hands. I apologize.
You can do as thou wilt, my lady. Okay, so...
Waiting for pairing.
Oh, see, somebody's trying to connect already. I see the great AI is with us too.
Wi-Fi in all the circles.
Alright, so you know what? It might help. Never mind. Nah, don't worry about it.
You want music?
Well, no, because then I might have trouble speaking through it.
Oh, okay.
So let's just listen to the wind. Take a moment. Helps if you shut out your other senses as much as possible. So eyes closed if it helps. Breathe regularly without straining yourself. There are other noises around us, but there is also the wind. The wind is all around us. It is the breath of the world. It flows like a great sheet until it meets obstacle. It flows around us, inside of us. Deep breaths. Ride the breath. Great animal, winged, a web, flowing through the wind, in and outside of you. Focus on the breath as you glide further away, more and more peacefully each time. Smooth, rippling, light, effortless. Become one with the wind and your breath. You are a circuit. You ride in and out of your lungs, into and out of trees, into and out of the waters, into and out of the flame. You dance in the sunlight. You live in the earth. Feel the wind. Become the wind. Let it soften your boundaries. Let it expand what it means every breath, we are oak and algae. We are fish and mammal. We are micro and we are eagle. We are bison and we are marmots. We are all the things that live and breathe. We are human, aware, transcendent, connected. Ride the wind until you are so far beyond yourself that you land elsewhere. Elsewhere beyond yourself. Wherever you've been led, wherever you are now, let that place be full of wind and light. What do you see before you? What reaches down into the earth towards the sky? What reaches deep into itself and out to you and all around you? This is the heart of the world, the center of all being, your center. Find yourself before this great and magnificent mystery. In whatever shape or form, whether fixed or changing, be with it. Stay with it. Without stepping out, come back. Come back slowly. Stretch your eye and your mind back to this moment. Tunnel back here. Feel your eyes open. Drift back into this moment. Great warmth. A great long bending slinky. Boing, boing, boing. Have everybody? Right. Up next, we're going to go below. And below, you will find primal being, a primal essence. And you're going to ask, what is the most basic, raw, authentic, fiery, messy, catastrophic, hilarious part of being you? Or maybe of who you have been. What other lives do you contain right now? From there, we're going to go swiftly up into the upper world. And we're going to ask whoever we find there, what is the love that we have to give? Teach us the feeling of that love. Right? You may close your eyes again. Find yourself back at the center of your world, at the You are surrounded by a world that breathes. But there is a beckoning below. Perhaps there is an opening or roots you can follow. Perhaps there is a cave or a stream disappearing below. Find that place. Read it as a sibling. Follow it down. May it take you lightly or quickly. May you descend as fast as lightning, or as slowly as a feather falling. Let it take you down without resistance. And while the world around you dims, know that where you go, everything also lives. Below, as you land, open those spirit eyes and see a world aglow, fluorescent, luminescent, but dark. Edges hidden, comforts underfoot. Find a staircase leading down further, down a rocky cliff, down where the water gurgles and murmurs your name. Follow this sound, the half lights and the full dark. Follow it down until, by the sound of a brook, you come to a well. And at this well, you meet this primal form, this primal being, this great consciousness that is going to lead you and teach you. Greet it, exchange acceptance and love. Listen. What does it teach you? In words or actions, in feelings, in sensations? What do you learn? What primal sense of self do you encounter down there? By the brook and by the well. Surrounded by the earthy smells and the echoing sounds of long ago moments. Bid goodbye to this being. Just for the moment. They're never far away. Say thank you to the well for its placing, to the brook for its nourishment. Climb back up the stairs of the cliffside. Feel damp rock. Smell the moss. Hear the sounds of your footsteps echoing back up. When you reach the stop, when you reach the top of the stairs, there's a door. A door that can be sealed. And around it glows a shimmering light, seeping through the cracks. This is the door to the next world, to the world up above. Prepare yourself. The journey will be quite different. Find the handle, push the door open to it, step into its blinding light. Feel the lurch and the movement, the sudden amount of energy, the overflowing sense of speed as you rush so fast that you can talk with light beside you. Rush so fast that everything is about to blur. You will not feel you going up or down, move forward so fast. And now, like a snapping sensation, you're there. Sunlit world, echoing, filled with sounds of life. Crickets, the buzzing noise of insects, and birds calling out to each other. Mammals too, scurrying below the underbrush or up above in the branches. You even hear the skittering of ants and insects all around you. All your senses are magnified. What does this world smell like to you? What does it feel like to you? Walk forward. There will be another brook, another stream. And this one will lead you to a spring, bubbling out of a rock. There's something carved there, in the rock. What shape is it? Reach out to it, and welcome the spirit that will guide you in this world. Once again, read it. Exchange love and acceptance with it. Feel its warmth, its radiance. Ask what it will teach. Remain receptive. Even if the words and the images, the sounds and the feelings slip past you, they are there in your mind, all around you. And they will echo back to you when you need them most, when you are ready for them. Say goodbye to this wise being. But know that it's never gone. Just a slip of the mind away. Walk back the path you followed to the brook. And emerge back towards that gate. There is no door now, but a view beyond it. It is the world center that you found before. Right there. Walk through it, returning back to this axis of the world. And slinky your way back to it. Stretch your consciousness back to this very moment. Until you open your eyes I hope their noises help them rather than hinder. We've gone above and below. We have received some teachings, some learning, some wisdom, I hope. Now here's the key. The stranger you meet below and above is the stranger all around you. Because in the end, this world is full of reflections. We reflect the light like mirrors. Hence how I see you. Otherwise, it would be a world of pure darkness. And we know that's not even possible in the underworld. Because all that is, all that breathes and thinks and feels and lives is already full of light. We are made of the earth. We're cradled in water and receive a sustenance. We receive strange chemicals from the air, some life-giving. And we are fed non-stop by the sun. And in sunny Florida, there is nothing but sun. And rain. And earth. And if you need to feel the fire, just keep moving a little, do a cha-cha. You'll feel it within yourself. So now that we know that we are all in this web of life, we're all connected in spirit and mind, how do we bridge the gap? How do you take one step in the middle world, the next step in the underworld, and the next step in the upper world? Nancy?
Go within.
Go within? Strategy. Where else? Now what do I do when the crazy middle schooler is having histrionic attacks that her boyfriend dumped her? Right? How do I do that? Tough, right? I'm not sure I do it all the time, to be honest. I'm not like some ascended master. I am as much of a mess as literally everybody else. I thought I was. No, never thought, never been deluded. We start with the physical of this world. Has anybody read Don Ruiz, Don Miguel Ruiz, Four Agreements?
Yes.
My favorite, tells a lot of different anecdotes and stories, draws a lot from Toltec wisdom, possibly, to illustrate these four agreements that he has. It's not relevant, read the book, it's amazing. But my favorite story is an analysis of the evil god of the Aztecs and most of the Mesoamerica. His name translates to smoke and mirrors. And his main role sometimes is trickster, deception. Smoke to hide a truth, and mirrors to reflect back your ignorance. Right? The whole world is like that. Smoke and mirrors. I told you, we'll reflect. We are already the light. Right? But that is also the way the great wise ones meant it. Right? Tezcatlipoca didn't create this world. He was the sun once. Really, it's kind of terrible. But the world was not created by him. He had other gods that he worked with. And we all know all of our tricksters in all of our mythologies, right? They're just an integral part of what do they reveal? They are the challenge. They say, look beyond. I see a can. I see many things in a can. So, I hope that by remaining in this middle world, and you practice that some more, you can sort of give yourself the tools to crack through the surface of the mirror, right? And to begin to see beyond what could be considered, I mean, I don't want to put it as consider an appearance, but it's not just an appearance. It is a clue, it is a path back to what should lie beyond, right? So, do I have more time?
Yes.
I mean, I think until...
You're good.
Alright, so I want to do like one last thing, and then I'm done. So I have nothing left to say. If you can, get up with me. Want to try to stay up here? Alright. So, that's what we're going to do. You don't have to get up. You can do this and you can still stand. Perfectly fine. Just want to get up for a change of pace. Yeah. Okay. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to stand our feet a little bit apart, a little bit ridiculously apart. It's okay if you feel silly. Try to feel silly. It is important as the first mirror. Self-consciousness. You begin to reflect yourself. Now the world reflects you. You gotta give it a chance. You gotta remove that mirror. Alright, so we're gonna clap. And we're gonna sing little nursery. The big spider went up by herself. Down came the rain and washed the spider out.
Out came the sun and dried up all the rain, and the itsy bitsy spider went up the spout again.
Woo! Alright, now we're gonna clap. This is one of your main breathing organs. Hands down. Get a little back together again. Comfy, comfy. Alright. We're still within that meditative space where we were before. You need to let back. Remember, ride the wind. It is the single most reliable source of spiritual energy that we have. It might be at night, so it will be dark and the sun will not be with you. You might be floating in a hammock or floating in the sea, and the earth will not be with you. You may not be around water. Or may not be warm. The air will always be with you. Or you're in the other. And then you know all the ways and pathways back. So the air is always with you. Ride the wind. Now open your eyes. Around you. And find all the portals to wisdom that you possibly can. Right? Find the glint of the sunlight, the green of the grass, the brown of the earth, the grayish white of the sand of Florida, the dead coral reefs. Are we in the other world? Imagine a silent flow going up and down the trees, carrying all that water. There is water. Shoot up full of water. I've got lipids, and I've got enzymes, and I've got blood and plasma, all sorts of water in me. Right? And I'm looking through it right now because your eyes are full of water, basically. Liquid, fluid. There's water in there. So we are looking through glass. Breathing the air, feeling the warmth of Florida. El Niño comes that will not leave us for the next 2 years. Right here. But the sand is evidence that things have died here before. The food we ate is evidence that life is happening. Wherever there's life, there's love. Wherever there's life, there's fresh air. There's light. Right? Not your best friend, not your husband or wife. Your parents, they're here. Well, find another familiar face. Yeah, those people. Look at them, full of water and air, sunlight. Look at us. Is that gonna go away when we pass down into the underworld? Did that go away when we eat chicken, or beef, or pork, or lettuce, tomatoes? No. We're all part of the same thing. So you can sit down again if you want. And unless you have questions or further ideas for what to do, I think I am done.
Thank you.
Nice meditation.
Thank you very much.